So you've pulled the plug out to change the water, clean the tub out or whatever, and then next time you go to put the plug in and you fill up the tub, it keeps losing water quite quickly. The chances are the only thing you've changed is the plug. So there's a few things you need to check with that. Number one, there's no bits of like sand or gravel or anything, little bits of grass and things like that trapped in there or down in there. And then if that's definitely all perfectly clean, it's a bit of a tricky one, because if you've got water still shedding into the plug hole area and there's little bits of sand in there, you could check it and go, oh yeah, that's clean, and then a new piece of sand just drops in there, and then you put the plug in it and you can create a bit of a leak there. So you've got to make super sure that all the water is in and there's definitely nothing in there, and you're confident that it's clean. If that's the case, then the other thing to check is this part. If when you take it out you accidentally unscrew it, then this can cause this to be wobbly, and it can leak through there and out the bottom. So you need to make sure that this is all super tight. If you're in any doubt that this has come loose, then what we actually do is we silicone the bits in between. So it might need taking apart. Essentially that's just like a bolt, and that's the nut at the top, and they just tighten up. So the number of parts you get once it's taken apart, actually we silicone this together so it's pretty well stuck. Is that you've got 4 parts, and then we actually silicone up all these little bits, not loads of silicone. I just use a decent quality all-weather sealant. This is written backwards, but this is called elasto sealant. As long as you spend a bit more money on a silicone, it should be okay. I always tend to use clear because it's not as obvious when it squeezes out. So essentially you'd put silicone onto each of these bits. Should have mentioned, if it's all wet and you want to do this quickly, then you might want to use like a hot air gun or hairdryer to dry things off, or you can just let it dry naturally. So yeah, put like a smear of silicone on there, make sure that surface is like really clean, put that onto there, and then you can push that through the hole, and then you can put silicone around where the thread meets the metal and around the thread, and I put it over the top as well, and that'll sort of squish down onto it. So this video is actually filmed backwards, so it's going to look like I'm undoing this, but I'm actually doing the normal tightening way. And then what you can do is hold the plug like that and turn that, and then I use some grips and I just do another probably quarter of a turn just to tighten that up nicely. And then the other thing to do when you're pulling the plug or pushing it in is to actually, if you're going to do any twisting, do clockwise twisting, don't do any anti-clockwise twisting, because that can loosen this plug again. So yeah, clockwise twisting only. Okay, that should solve your plug problem. And if it's still leaking, just try really pushing it down. It could be the strength that you've pushed it down with, but generally a bad leak that's occurring straight after a refill is to do with this. Okay, thanks guys.